Championships. As our champions Scotty Davis and Jordan Devlin defend their titles against the grizzled young veterans. But before we get to that, we have another contest for you, and let me tell you, this one is absolutely fantastic. My friends, are you ready for your penultimate match? You can do better, even fucking louder! Are you ready? Let's do this. My friends, introducing the two competitors for the following contest. First of all, across the ring and to my right, weighing in at 95 kilos, originally from Moscow in Russia, now residing in Dresden, Germany. This is ilja, dragunov! And his opponents in the corner to my left, hailing from parts unknown, weighing in at 190 pounds. This is the Black Swan, cara!
That magic bell is to signify the fact that Cara Noir is involved in this match, because everything he fucking does is magic. One of the most incredible entrances I've ever seen. I'm not even sure, just the control, the poise, the intrigue, and that's a key word. We were watching Ilja Dragunov as Cara Noir made his entrance, and Ilja did not take his eyes off him, and it wasn't a look of, I'm going to come out there and beat your face in. He was like confused, intrigued. I don't know what the look was, Matt.
It's this weird clash of Swan Lake and War and Peace, this anarchy and beauty, this theatre of violence, and it almost seems like Dragunov and Noir have been waiting for this moment. The spotlight is firmly on both of them, and they are loving it.
Well, Ilja Dragunov, who came in at number 2 in the Progress crank away on the angle there of the Progress Rumble, and he lasted an incredibly long time, but it was on that day that Pete Dunne put forward an open challenge, and to a larger audience we were introduced on a very grand stage to Cara Noir. But let's not look past that. Just the day before, we're looking at a semi-finalist from the Natural Progression Series as well.
And I don't think we've ever seen that opportunity happen for someone, and for someone not only to have that opportunity, but to make the most of it. If Progress is the main stage, Cara Noir got a standing ovation and an encore, but this is now his official encore. We've seen what he can do with the best in the world. Now we find out with the best of the rest, and we're starting with Ilja Dragunov.
Well, Ilja Dragunov, a former multi-time champion. He's been a World Tag Team Champion with Walter in WXW, a Unified World Wrestling Champion there as well. And we know that Ilja Dragunov has the chops. We were ironically introduced to Ilja Dragunov in a match with Pete Dunne on a very large scale back when we were at Hello Wembley, that battle for European supremacy.
And it almost seems as well when Ilja comes to Manchester that we see a different side to him. You know, think back to that incredible battle with Walter last time we were in this very building. There is something about this Manchester audience that gets Dragunov fired up.
Cara Noir now driving the hammerlock in, putting the knee against the hand so he can release his other hands and wrenching back.
And this is where the almost oxymoron Noir comes into play. It isn't just theatre, it isn't just theatrics, it isn't just the entrance. There is an incredibly talented fighter under there, and I mean fighter in the most general term, a mixed martial arts background as well as extensive professional wrestling acumen. If you've only ever seen Cara on Twitter or through the buzz, and then you finally see him in person, it's a genuinely breathtaking experience.
Like you said, a multi-skilled fighter, and it's interesting to watch when Cara's in the corner just before the bell was ring, almost like the capoeira stance and the dance style that he incorporates into his style, and incredibly athletic, goes over the top, headlock takeover, That's how effective a headlock takeover can be. Now Dragunov with one. And there we see two very well-matched fighters with two very different styles. Dragunov now almost captivated by the hand of Cara Noir. And Dragunov beckoning Noir on. Oh! Leaving forward by Dragunov. Head of steam. Cross body. Takes him down. Straight into the cover. Legs hooked. Noir's out before the three.
You know, you mentioned earlier on about Dragunov's introduction to Progress was via Pete Dunne, and Noir's introduction was via Pete Dunne, but the two things that both of these competitors want is competition, and I think we've seen something awoken in both men here tonight.
Well, it seems the captivation that both have with each other here. Like you said, a theatre of violence is a big vertical suplex by Dragunov. Lateral press, braces the wrist. But I've never seen Dragunov with these kind of facials before. Dragunov seems genuinely intrigued by the black swan of professional wrestling.
It comes down to the fact of, if you're trying to explain Cara Noir to someone who's never seen him, how do you explain him? And you feel that Dragunov's going for the same emotions. You know, obviously Dragunov are very well versed in professional wrestling, but I imagine he's never seen anything quite like the black.
Oh! Velocity on that elbow. Another lateral press, and Noir's out again.
But look at that, Dragunov straight into that hold, trying to grab a hold, trying to get control over Noir, knowing how dangerous he is if he gets some range with those kicks.
Dragunov now trying to wear Noir down. It's been all Dragunov for the last few minutes. Oh my God! Nearly in the throat from Dragunov. And that's what makes him so dangerous. The striking ability of Dragunov. Oh! You hear a scream from Noir there as Dragunov driving the elbow down and now stalking the...
Yeah, we know how fired up are the drums of war that Dragunov gets in. Cara Noir's turned into his own percussion instrument here. The symphony is brutality.
I mean, Ilja Dragunov is an anomaly. I think we can definitely describe him as he's a unique human being. His training regimen, some of the things that he can do in that ring, and he's in there with a very unique specimen indeed with Cara Noir, and at the moment he's just playing his game.
I think the one advantage Dragunov has, and maybe why he's got control over this matchup, is that he is used to being on a big stage, especially here in Progress.
Oh, a headbutt from Noir into the granite chin of Dragunov. Reversal. Oh! Kick straight into the chest, now one in the stomach. An axe kick. Misses wildly. Dragunov escapes. Snap German on the back of his head. Noir! Barefooted super kick, and then
Rude awakening.
Inside leg, deep cover by Noir. Dragunov sneaking out before three.
I mentioned it, as soon as Noir gets distance, he starts firing off those kicks that set up everything else he wants to do, and pillar to post.
Oh, Dragunov sent up and into the top corner turnbuckle by the Black Swan. Now Noir had control for a second, and Ilja misses wildly with that punch. Oh! What a kick from Noir. Lining up another.
Oh, just measuring him at this point.
And now, all of a sudden, Noir seems to be implementing the same technique as Dragunov was earlier on. Pinpoint accuracy with those kicks. Off.
Well, the momentum is changing this match. It really feels like a new act for Noir, as there's the commentator's curse as usual. Oh,
what a kick by Dragunov. Oh my goodness.
Hook. Oh my.
Huge bridge. With the gotch hold, though, it's difficult to get momentum back on the shoulders of Noir and Dragunov, although the bridge was excellent. Without that waist lock, it's difficult to keep pressure down on the shoulders. Oh my. Two shots. My big men. Here comes Noir. Two forearms going for a third. Ilja goes round.
Oh, to Constantine. Oh! And nails it.
And Cara Noir on the back of his head, but Ilja Dragunov can't take advantage. Dragunov seems to be slightly better. Well, just as I say that, now that the two gentlemen back to back, and Noir and Dragunov both getting to their feet at the same time. Face to face. Oh, Dragunov catches the arm. Oh, now chopping away into the trapezius area by Dragunov. Oh, big knees. 2-3 of them into the chest and gut of... Oh, there's the headbutt. Did it rock the big Russian this time? Oh, Dragunov. This is wildly. Third attempt.
Impact on the headbutts, but Dragunov still not rocked. Lifts him up. God's power bomb. Oh, I think Noir moments ago was ready for the final curtain, but it might be him that is...
Now Dragunov, more on the shoulders. Oh,
again.
Headbutt into the back of the neck.
Oh, there it is, looking for that blackout.
Dragunov has managed to brace the arm. Wrist control. Oh my God! Turning Noir inside out with that clothesline. Oh! Out of nowhere! The hooks are in! Blackout sleeper! He's taking control of the back, but Dragunov's managed to posture up. Oh no! Oh, catches the head! Oh!
DVD in the corner.
Dragunov's heading up to the top rope.
Oh!
Back senton! Lands all of it into the chest of Noir. And we know what comes next. Oh!
Swan Woo!
Noir, front face lock! Drops him on a knee! Come on! But Noir quickly going back up from that escapes out the back into the corner.
Torpedo Moscow!
That's it! Cover by Dragunov! What a match here, Chapter 96!
The winner of this contest, Ilja Dragunov!
Well, sometimes they say opposites attract, and we may have just found a new odd couple here in progress. You said it earlier on, Matt. A theatre of violence here in Manchester.
Well, Ilja Dragunov may well have won the battle, but I would love to see this war rage on. That is one of the best matches we have ever seen here in Progress. Incredible stuff.
Well, if you didn't know the name Cara Noir before the Natural Progression Series, or indeed before that match with Pete Dunne at Alexandra Palace, one of the most unique characters and one of the most unique wrestlers, not to mention one of the most talented young men in all of British wrestling. But today he ran into a torpedo from Moscow, and Ilja Dragunov picks up the win at Chapter 96. But Matt, I'm with you. I could wrestle every show.